Hello everyone, welcome to a new wandering in a place I have showed you briefly last year. I am back visiting Maidstone and I finally get around seeing this museum I've been wanting to see, but somehow it just never happened, so let's go and see it today. I like these old signs and the windows, of course. It is housed in a beautiful Elizabethan manor. You could see by the architecture of it. It's absolutely beautiful. It was opened in 1858. It's a bit noisy because it's by a main road, so there's cars and buses passing. Initially it was called the Charles Museum. It was Dr. Charles who a few years earlier donated his art and collections he had, and then it slowly evolved into what it is today. If I remember correctly, what I read, it has over 600,000 artifacts of all sorts, encompassing geology, archaeology, history, art, and all sorts of interesting things. So I'm very curious to go inside and see what we can see. I just found this, so you can pause and read it. There's more info about Chillington Manor, the parts of it. Just looking through, well, not through, but to see what I can spot. I could see coats of arms on that window, maybe we'll see them from the outside, and a very clever ventilation bits built into the brick wall. Just wanted to have a quick look at the guardian lions. There's two of them, each on the entrance. It's quite overcast and the light is funky, so it's a bit annoying. I think the entrance is on the other side, so I will need to go around, but I wanted to show it to you from here. I really like this building. And let's have a quick look at the commemorative statues. Okay. There's the info, and here's the beautiful statue of a soldier, now very full of spider webs. And this is the other one, and there we go. This is not the entrance, so as I said, I need to go around, but I just wanted to have a look at it because it's a beautiful door. Right, I came around. There's more of the building I can show you, and the entrance is here. So I hope I'm allowed to film. Let's go in. Okay, coming in, and first there's a shop, and there's all sorts one can purchase. Now, one of the first artifacts is a very peculiar one. Never dreamt of seeing something like this. This is a Handel's travel clavichord. Unbelievable. Last thing I expected to see here. A mask made out of seed beads from Nigeria. Some shrine figurines from Ghana. And some metal animal figurines from Chad. I'm sure you can recognize them. Okay, I wanted to show you this. This is the modern coat of arms of Maidstone. I think they've done it in 1949. So there, yeah, you can see 1549, but the original one did not have the creature that you can see on the left. On the left you can see an iguanodon, which was the first fossil of iguanodon was found not too far from Maidstone. So it made Maidstone famous for this reason as well. It's quite something because I think it's the only town in the whole of the UK that can boast to have a dinosaur in its coat of arms. Now this is a pretty famous statue of Lady Godiva by John Thomas. It's a plaster model, amazingly detailed. You can look up her story and the legend. It's an interesting one. I found some other sculptures. There's no names or any clues. They're beautiful. And some more. I quite like this one. It's a shame I don't know who he was. And who are you, mister? He had to be a Scottish nobleman or something, because look at the detail you can see here. Really, there's no note about who he is, which is a bit annoying. Okay, there's a staircase going up, but before we go up there, there's a room here we can check out. Okay, this looks like the library. There's a few paintings and one of those old-fashioned letters. Can you see it? Very serious you are with your big wig. Again, there's no inscriptions, but this one looks to me like Prince Albert, the husband of Queen Victoria. And there she is, young Victoria. Beautiful. And a real fireplace. And an inscription from the Bible. It's a nice room. You can do interesting presentations here. It looks like it is set up for it. It's just a shame about things like this. That should be easily fixable. I was curious what books are there here. You can see this, an ophthalmic hospital report. And you have Fox's Book of Martyrs, printed maps of the Great Britain and Ireland. Prisoners of war in Britain. It's very, very eclectic. Post Office Directory from 1878. Okay, it's called the Brenchley Library. Let's go upstairs. Okay, this is the oil paintings gallery. Oh, with the sheep, and also the one up there. Beautiful landscape. Okay, I found another painting I really like. It's by a painter called Arthur Hughes. I've never heard of him before, and it's titled Saying Grace, the Skipper and His Crew, and it's depicting a Cornish fisherman's family. And it's just lovely to see. They're saying grace before eating their pasty or pie. Look at the cat. I'm gonna get a piece as well. Kids, the mom. You can see the sea in the corner. And it suddenly reminds me of beautiful Cornwall. I've not been there for many years. Okay, there's more. Let's see. There are some larger ones. The Marketplace in Norwich. Painted by Harry Goodwin. And Maidstone by John Hardwickle Lewis. The war scene. This is a really light canvas, but most of it is absolutely dark. This is the scene before Gibraltar, the defeat of the Spanish and French. And there's more, but I'm not showing you everything. You can come and see it for yourself. There's a temporary exhibition in the memory of those who perished on the Titanic. We have all the names there. And there's various bits like clothing, tea set that you would have on the deck chair, and lots of other bits. And the model of it, and the wreck. And ladies, here's a replica of the what was it called? The Heart of the Ocean necklace. I'm sure many of you recognize it from the movie. And some of the shoes worn by Kate Winslet. It's really tricky to film through glass. And some of the costumes. This one with the blue and purple, it's the flying dress that she wore, if you remember. Third class accommodation. With bunk beds.
And my mother was say goodbye to my father, and he said, hope to see you later.
You can hear the documentary in the background, but here suddenly in the next room we are transported to Japan, the land of power, craft and culture. Let's see what we can see here. Warrior costume. It's interesting how there is a face covering as well. Beautiful cabinet. And some beautiful painted dishes. There's loads. It's just very hard for me to show you because of the glass cabinets. I'm thinking these would be sake bottles, but I'm not sure. They're beautiful. It's really beautifully done. Beautiful little boxes and turtle looking thing. Found a few swords and another armor I'll show you in a sec. And there. Another sword and its holder. Writing sets. Just look at the beauty of the decoration. Simple but very elegant. Lots of little figurines. They're so detailed. Just look at the expressions and everything. Look at these ones. One is playing the flute and the other one is like a contortionist. Let's have a look at this lady from the front as well. And her beautiful kimono. And this is so cute. Big snail and the little one on it. You can try on some footwear. And there's some bits to wear. Another cabinet which is, I think they put in a lot of tea ceremony elements. Yep. Just look at the detail of the inlays. Gorgeous. One more from a different period in which more metalware is incorporated. And I think that's it for the Japan section. Sorry. concentrating on something and yeah, distraction. Alright, I'm back in the gallery section and now we are gonna go that way to explore archaeology and paleontology, I think. But before we get to there, here's some of the glassware bits that the museum has, and some oriental cloisonne. I'm not sure how you say that, but that's a Chinese style decorating from over 500 years ago. And yep, I can see some skulls and stuff. Let's see. But before I show you that, let me show you the room. This is exquisite. Look at that. The size, the wood beams, the fireplace. Wow. This is absolutely beautiful. Beautiful snowy hall. And the skeleton of a mole. And randomly, here's 3 Japanese Netsukes. These are beautifully decorated. They used to be worn on strings to stop them from slipping, and it could be a medicine box or I don't know, all sorts of other bits. And a Zulu buffalo sculpture. And here's an Incy Wincy skull. Or not really. Tom tom tom, let me show you. What do you think? What sort of creature's skull is this? It's massive. It's a hippopotamus. The size of that. Just look at the size of its tusk. Oh yeah. And then randomly, a Japanese figurine. And then a very intricately carved Japanese block from the 19th century. And an albino grey squirrel. Now that's something I've not seen before. It is the head of a great leatherback turtle. It's very large. And then a gorgeous ram's head. But it's not just any odd trophy type thing. It was mounted to have a snuff box in the middle. Look at that. Snuff was something that they used to use. It's like ground tobacco that you sniff through your nose. Oh. And next to it, there's a doll's house. Because these things go together. Oh yeah. The fireplace is really interesting. There's a ton of stuff here, including these 2 massive Japanese ceramic jars with lids. And then you have the ever-present motif of the cranes. Really pretty. There's a huge metal chest with locks. And then you have these tiles. Scandinavian fills, but again there's no explanation anywhere, so I'm just guessing. And then the carvings of fawns, I think. Some lapis lazuli in its raw form. The collection of eggs, they are rook eggs of the Corvus family. And right next to it something awful. Can you see this is a pair of Chinese food binding shoes from the early 19th century. They completely bound and maimed the feet of young women, especially from wealthy families, because it was like a status symbol. You didn't have to work, you didn't have to walk. And for some reason this was fascinating. And some Egyptian funerary figurines. These would be buried with the deceased and represent different characters like workers who would do work for you in the afterlife. found a beautiful piece of amethyst. Absolutely lovely. And a beautiful pheasant. Let me just show you the detail on its wing feathers and, well, not just the wings, it's his whole body is absolutely gorgeous. You ended up in a display. Okay, a few minutes ago I showed you 3 Netsukes. Now, here we have another example. It's there on the top. And this container is called an in-row. And they were for holding small items like powdered medicine and whatever else. They used to hang it from their belts, and the little Netsuke was the bit that secured it, so it would not slip down on the cord. This museum is like a maze. You can go left, right, and you keep finding new things. Okay, there's another staircase here with more paintings, but it's quite dark, so we can't really see them. Oh, so you can go down this way, and then I can see that there's another room going that way. Oh, hello. Now, you're beautiful, aren't you? Who painted you? We will never know. An exhibition about Julius Brenchley, the gentleman explorer. Let's see. You can read about him here. Well, I just read that for myself, and if we would have not lived 200 years apart, I'm pretty sure we would have gotten along really well. I need to look up more about his life, but it looks like he lived a very interesting and adventurous life, and he was a real wanderer. Some of the things he collected over the many years of travel. Glass is a pain. Look at that detail of that. That's a mask from New Guinea. And more about his collections. Huge collection, by the sound of it. Straw hat and combs, these are from the Americas. More masks. Here's another interesting journey he did on the Curaçao. I think that's how you say it, more or less. And some of the bits he collected. Shells from the Pacific Ocean. Now these are ivory carvings. Look at the little animals. These are from the Canada or Eskimo folk. Obsidian knife from New Guinea. I like this. He became a Pacific pacifier during the Maori War. Cool dude. There's loads of things, but I am struggling with the glass. These are from the Solomon Islands. On the other side from New Caledonia. Now here's something I've never seen before. Can you guess what they are? They're ear ornaments made out of human teeth. Now that's an armlet, and it says that it's made out of dog's teeth and seeds. Back to the Solomon Islands. Some shell pendants. And here, these smaller ones are nose ornaments. And these ones are head ornaments. You can see the band. You can put it around your head. Another cabinet that I can't show you properly, but these are all from Fiji. These are combs. But look at the decors and how they weaved it together with little beads. They're so beautifully done. Fishing implements from Tonga. These are bark cloths that were probably used as curtains. Amazing. And this one is part of some sort of ceremonial clothing. Another voyage. Well, I can tell you that this Brenchley character has now really piqued my interest, and I will do my research on him because I find his life absolutely fascinating. And back again this way because there's a way going down that way, so I want to see what's there. You can see some helmets and broadswords displayed. But before I go that way, I just realized that there's another room here called the bird room. Let's see what's in there. And as you come in, a white-tailed eagle and its prey awaits you. Wow. Then we have creatures you can find in lakes and rivers. And I'm specifically interested in the dragonflies. Look at this one. Obviously the colors have faded over time, but they still look absolutely gorgeous. Let's have a look at another one. Oh. And some of the little creatures of the woodlands. Look at that moth. And those ones. Wow. Some of the butterflies, brimstone, the admirals, different fritillatory ones. They don't have the exact colors anymore, but you can still recognize them. Moving on to larger creatures, like the badger and the otter. And oh, that's a mink. And obviously a squirrel in the back. Various birds. Fish. No, these are double. Beyond glass, behind glass, so it's an utter nightmare to film them. Then we have some of the water birds, including the great crested grebes. Look at them, they're gorgeous. That's the taller pair in the middle. There's a grey heron, Canada, grey lag, and these are some of the regular creatures I show every week when I go visit the pond, but those ones are all alive, as are the moorhen I usually show you. Now this is a bird I've rarely seen. It's a water rail. Absolutely beautiful. And then we have the creatures from the coast. On the top layer it's the birds going all the way down, and at the bottom we have the sea creatures. Loads and loads of different types of shells. Beautiful sea urchin. Purple sea snail. I've never seen something like this for real, because obviously they are not to be found on the UK coast. Some pretty tower shells, scallops, and different types of scallops, and even more. They're gorgeous. Crab, prickly cockles. These are absolutely beautiful as well. And I forgot to show you some of the birds as well. Some razor shells. And look at that tiny little bunny. And there is the, I'm not sure if that would be a mom or a large hare. And owls. and wagtails. Now this is in a different section, I think, but I want to show you some of the creepier creatures. Scorpion, then we have a huge millipede that doesn't even fit in my frame, and a tarantula, and gorgeous grasshopper. Now that's how it looks like when you can see its wings opened, because usually they close it, but they open it obviously when they fly. And that's a tiny octopus. Oh, so cute. Something else I like, it's a small nautilus. And that's an ostrich egg. And look at something special. It's a sawfish snout. Absolutely interesting. Let's see it a little bit more up close. Wow. Again, a creature I rarely see. This is a polecat. Now extinct, but it survives as the domestic ferret. And the stoat. And the weasel. And here's a rat as well. And the hedgehog. And that's a wasp's nest. I would like to see it minus the wasps being present. Or if I'm wearing Iron Man's suit, then it's fine. They can be there. And those are birdies of different kind. Just want to include bits of the ceiling because it's so beautiful, all of it. Honestly, this building is absolutely fascinating. And oh wow, here we go, dinosaurs. Okay, a baby's hatching. There's the big tooth mama, let's say that. I did mention, didn't I, that it was here near Maidstone that one of the first dinosaur fossils was found, the iguanodon. They actually have that fossil, but it is displayed now in the Maidstone Museum in London. Let's go back to the ceiling. And then we can see the ancestor of the deer. Look at the size of you. It's huge. Oopsie. Oh, that went in too fast. Wow. I'm not even sure. The span of those antlers is easily 3 meters. That's it, the Irish elk or the giant deer. And I wasn't too far with my estimation. It says that the antlers could be nearly 4 meters wide. I said 3. Well, I'm not sure how big this one is, but it's large. Skull fragments. And some decorated bones. These are mammoth remnants, tusk and teeth. And also some of the bones of their legs, shin. And the shoulder blade. Fossil nautilus. Different fossils. That one in the middle is of a salmon from a long time ago. Turtle shells fossilized. And this one is a shark fossil. The head, and you have the spinal column with the vertebrae. Some shark teeth. That is a huge one in the middle. Another little fossilized turtle. We have some minerals displayed as well. This is barite. Illuminite. It looks like a cauliflower or a weird popcorn. Different type of barite. Siderite. Some gypsum. And different types of calcites. Some quartz in Rexstone, which is local. A lot of buildings have been built out of Rexstone. Different type of quartz. This one is rounded. Really cool. And some more. Look at this. The nodule is inside the cavity of the flint. Some pyrite. Different kinds. And back to the fossils. You can clearly see the fish fossilized in it, and look at that. This is fascinating. I did not expect to see so many things in this museum. It's far above what I anticipated. Some ammonites as well. And I'm so happy. Not too long ago, maybe 2 months ago, I went on my first fossil hunt with a group, and I have found a small piece of ammonite and some other fossils. And oh, I'm still tingling with the memory of it all. Look at this one. Oh, there's a large one there. And on this one, wow, look, you can see loads and loads of things. Wow. They have come to tell me that I need to pack up and go because they're closing. So I need to do that quickly, rushing through different bits I can quickly see. Iguanodon fossils. There is the story. And that's a very large chunk. I can't even fit it in properly. Hello. And a huge one. Look at that ammonite. Right, I'm back here and I need to rush out. I needed more time. Oh, I need to go. I'll tell you some bits outside. Okay, I had to exit because I can't keep them up. They need to go home as it's closing time. But oh boy, I have missed out on quite a big chunk, the archaeology bit and some other things. So that means I will need to come back and there will be a part 2 of this museum for sure. I hope you enjoyed the bits I managed to capture for you. As always, and I'm repeating myself, but when things are behind glass, it's always tricky to film, but I'm always trying. Anyway, I hope I have spurred your curiosity, and if you have any plans to come and visit Kent, then I do recommend you have a day stop in Maidstone. Oh, look, there's little Iggy. Hello, darling. There's a larger statue of it by one of the train stations I showed you in the previous video. Anyway, so I do recommend visiting Maidstone, and there's much more to see besides the museum, and I'm gonna try and do that in another video. Have a lovely day, everyone. Bye from the town of the Iguanodon. Bye.